The early morning sun filtered through the dusty blinds of a high-rise apartment in Ikoyi, casting warm gold across the sleek tiles and plush furniture. Ayaton Okonkwo, heir to the Okonkwo Holdings dynasty, stood by the floor-to-ceiling glass, sipping steaming black coffee in silence. Behind him, his finely tailored kaftan hung on the bed, untouched. Today wasn't for boardrooms. He had other plans. Ayaton had always been the quiet type. Calculating, sharp, and wary of Lagos plastic smiles and transactional friendships. People wanted his surname, not his soul. But something else weighed on him this morning. His younger sister, Amoka, was getting married. To a man named Toby Edinaron, tall, smooth-talking, successful. Too perfect. Too polished. And Ayo didn't trust him. There was something about Toby's charm that felt manufactured. Amoka was pure-hearted, warm, and trusting, a dangerous combination in a city like Lagos. Ayo had tried the usual route, hiring a private investigator. Nothing damning came up. But his instincts told him Toby was hiding something. If no one else could find it, he would. So, he did the unthinkable. He went undercover. He rented a cramped single-room self-contained in Mushin, far from his plush life in Ikoyi. He adopted the name Kano Adebayo, a mechanic's son from Ibadan, recently relocated to Lagos. Down on his luck, job hunting, desperate. With a few calls made quietly through a friend, he got a part-time job at a community outreach center in Surulere, where Amoka's fiancé, Toby, volunteered occasionally. But more importantly, it was where her friend, Tommy, volunteered every week. The first time he saw Tommy Aluko, she was bent over a carton of Indomie noodles, repackaging food donations for widows. Her face was bare, her hair braided and tied back with a scarf. She laughed heartily when a child spilled palm oil on her wrapper, helping clean it without a single scolding word. Ayo stood there, mop in hand, completely disarmed. She wasn't what he expected. He assumed she'd be spoilt or showy. If Toby was hanging around her often, she had to be of a certain class. But Tommy wasn't flashy. She wore basic Ankara dresses, reused her geli, and always brought extra food for the street boys nearby. She even took downfall buses with the rest of them. Still, Ayo reminded himself, people lie. Appearances deceive. Just like Toby's. That day, as the center emptied out, Tommy approached him and handed him a sachet of chilled pure water and a piece of gala wrapped in a nylon bag. You look tired, she said gently. Eat. No strength, no work. Ayo mumbled a surprised thanks, stunned. No one had given him anything without expecting something in return, not in Lagos, not in years. That night, in his tiny, dusty room, he stared at the gala. This was supposed to be simple: expose Toby, protect Amoka. But now he wondered. Was he the one being tested? Days turned into weeks. Kano Adebayo, aka Ayaton Okonkwo, slowly became part of the community. But no one touched him more than Tommy. She showed up early. Swept floors. Played with kids. Helped old men to their tricycles. She gave of herself with no fanfare, no hashtags, no makeup. And Toby. He remained a mystery. Showed up occasionally in loafers and designer sunglasses. Smiled for photos. Patted backs. Made promises. But never stayed long enough to do the real work. One night, Ayo fixed a leaking tap in the center's kitchen using a YouTube video and share wheel. Tommy showed up, holding a flask. "You can't be sweating like this on an empty stomach," she said, handing him hot jollof rice and dodo. "I didn't cook it, oh, but I promise it's sweet." He smiled, heart shaking. "Thank you. You didn't have to. I wanted to." They ate on the floor. And when she joked about how bad he was with tools, he laughed, his first real laugh in months. Something cracked open inside him. He had come to expose someone. But now he was falling for someone else. And she believed he was carnal, poor, honest, simple. If she found out the truth. He tried pulling back. But it was already too late. One evening, after a surprise dinner Amoka had planned for Toby's birthday, Tommy lingered outside the center alone, her smile gone. "He didn't remember," she said, almost whispering. "He forgot today was my birthday." Ao, holding a plastic bag with engine oil, froze. Then, quietly, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small cupcake he had bought for himself earlier. "I didn't forget," he said. Tommy's eyes widened. For the first time, she looked at him differently, not as Connor. Just him. From that night, the mission blurred. But then came the night everything unraveled. Ao followed Toby from Tommy's apartment, watching him slip away in his Mercedes to a rooftop lounge on Victoria Island. There, he spotted him with another woman, laughing, kissing, confident. No fear. No mistake. Later in the parking lot, Ao confronted him. "You're cheating on her." Toby sneered. "And who are you, mechanic boy?" "Her side piece." Ao stepped forward. "You don't love her." "Love?" Toby scoffed. "I wanted a rich wife. She's lying about who she is." "You think she's poor?" "That girl has access to more money than some governors. She's been hiding it." Ao blinked. "What?" "She told me she was broke. Helping her sick mom. Struggling. But I found a Zenith Platinum card in her bag, limit." Unbelievable. Ao stayed up that night digging. And what he found shocked him. Tommy Aluko was the daughter of late tech billionaire Collard Aluko. After his mysterious death, she had changed her name, avoided media, and lived modestly. She wanted to disappear. And now, she was pretending to. Just like him. In trying to uncover a lie, Ao had found a bigger truth. They were both hiding. Both testing love. The next day, the sky poured heavily over Lagos. Ao stood outside the community center, drenched, heart pounding. When he saw Tommy emerge, tired and sad, he couldn't hold back. "Tommy," he called. She turned, confused. "We need to talk." They sat under a half-roofed shed as the rain drummed above them. "I found out about Toby," he began. "I already know," she interrupted. "His side chick sent me everything." "Why haven't you left him?" "I was waiting for truth. For someone to look past my name, my money, my pain. That's why I'm here. I wanted real love, not proposals tied to bank balances." Ao took a deep breath. "My name is not Connor. I'm Ayaton Okonkwo. I came here to protect my sister. But somewhere along the line, I met you." Tommy looked at him quietly. "So you lied, too." "I never lied about what I felt." She stood, the rain touching her again. "I need time," she said softly. "Not because of what you are, but because you're the only one who ever made me feel seen." Then, almost inaudibly, she added, and that's why I'm scared, because I think I fell for you, too. And just like that, she walked away, leaving him soaked, heart full, and finally unmasked. The evening breeze in Surulere carried the scent of roasted corn on suya. Street lights flickered over the narrow, uneven road outside the community center. Mofe, known as Toby to the people around him, sat in the shadows, waiting. It had been a week since daora walked away from him in the rain. He hadn't seen her since. Every day, he returned to the center hoping she'd show up. But she didn't. He still came to help patch leaky faucets and sort relief items. But everything felt empty. She had filled up a part of him he never knew was hollow. Now, it echoed. Until tonight. He heard the familiar shuffle of sandals before he saw her. daora, hair wrapped in a simple scarf, a navy blue gown brushing her ankles, stood near the community gate, arms folded. Mofe rose immediately. daora, she lifted a hand. I'm not here for a scene, Mofe. He nodded, standing back, respectful. You came. That's enough. They walked into the empty multipurpose room where it had all started. The same room where she'd handed him a packet of jollof rice after a long shift. The same place where they'd sat and talked about dreams, disappointments, and the kind of Legos that didn't make the news. daora finally spoke. You lied, Mofe. But I did too. He stayed silent. I said I was from Ajigona. That I was a struggling volunteer with nothing but my salary from a tailoring shop. But that's not true. He looked at her, breath held. My name is daora Obianuju Is. Daughter of Obianuju Is, founder of UJ Tech Group. She gave a soft, almost sad laugh. I'm richer than I'll ever admit. But I was tired of people wanting the Is name. I needed to breathe. So I left Ikoyi and moved into a 2-bedroom flat in Surulere under an alias. I wanted to find love, not a merger. Silence stretched between them again, heavy with realization. They had both come into this world. This tiny community center in the chaos of Lagos, wearing masks to find what their wealth had always hidden from them, truth. Mofe exhaled. And I'm not Toby the handyman. I'm Mofe Adebayo, first son of Adebayo Holdings. I came here to investigate Tond, the guy my younger sister wants to marry. Something about him felt wrong. I found out he was cheating. I was right. daora nodded. I know. He confessed. And I ended it. His eyes met hers. I never meant to fall for you. But I did. The night I gave you that cupcake. I meant every word. I believe you, she said quietly. They stood in the center of the room, the city's chaos muffled behind concrete walls. But how do we know this is real? She asked. If both of us came here lying, pretending to be someone else. Mofe took a step closer, voice low and certain. Because in the middle of all that pretending, I found the one thing that was real, you. Your heart. Your laughter. The way you looked at kids like they were gold. You didn't need to prove anything. Her eyes watered slightly. He continued, and when you looked at me like I mattered, not because of my name or my money, that was the first time in years I felt like a man, not a bank account. daora smiled through a teardrop. Same. They stood silently, facing each other. Then she reached into her bag and pulled out a tangerine, wrapped in a serviette. You look tired, she said, echoing that first moment. It is. It's sweet. He took it, hands shaking slightly. And laughed, truly, deeply. They both did. Outside, a bus conductor shouted destinations. Generators hummed in the distance. But in that little room, everything felt still. Daora stepped forward. Let's try again. No secrets. No masks. Just us. Mofe nodded. Just us. They walked out of the community center hand in hand, into the warm Lagos night, where their story had begun. No longer heirs. No longer actors. Just two people who had tested love and found truth.